Hi everybody. I'm happy to be here today to talk with you a little bit about mindfulness. You might have heard that word before. Maybe you've practiced mindfulness in your family or maybe even in the classroom. Mindfulness means three words. They're really easy to remember. When we think about being mindful, what we're doing is finding a way to be here now. Yeah, just those three words. Be here now really means that we're paying attention to the moment that we're experiencing at this time. That we're not thinking about what's going to happen next, what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen later on tonight. And we're not thinking about what happened this morning or what happened yesterday. Our brains are really good at throwing us into the future and asking us to think about what's coming up next. And that's helpful sometimes. And our brains are really good at getting us stuck in the past. What did it feel like when our brother made us mad this morning? Or how come I was all out of my favorite cereal? And those kinds of things. So mindfulness asks us to be here now, in this present moment. And that's especially helpful when we're dealing with uncertain times. None of us thought that we would be starting our school year online. And all of us, teachers and students and our parents, are all dealing with lots of change and uncertainty. But the good news is that there are tools that can help us when we're feeling those feelings of uncertainty. And one of those tools is practicing mindfulness. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how our breath helps us to stay in the moment that we're experiencing. And when we can stay in the moment that we're experiencing, our feelings become easier to handle. Isn't that neat that there's a strategy that you can use to help manage the feelings that we're having during these uncertain times? I'm sure glad to have it. And brain scientists have been really interested in mindfulness. They've been studying about mindfulness, and they've been studying about how it affects us when we practice mindfulness. And they've discovered some interesting things. One of the things the scientists have discovered is that when people practice mindfulness and they practice breath work, they're happier, they're healthier, and their relationships are improved. And I don't know anybody who wouldn't want to have a tool that could help them to be happier, to be healthier, and to help all their relationships improve. So that's what we're going to practice today. I bet you've noticed that thoughts come and go in your brain. Yeah, we have lots and lots of thoughts all day long. And as I mentioned earlier, oftentimes those thoughts can take us into the future, what's going to happen next, or can keep us in the past, keep us thinking about what's already happened. But today we're going to practice using our breath to be mindful, to stay here in the present moment. And there's lots of ways to breathe. In fact, any technique that you want to use where you pay attention to your breath to help your brain stay in this present moment is helpful. And it does take some practice, but we're going to try it today. So in just a moment, I'm going to be walking you through a breath exercise that you can use anytime. And you can use it when you're scared. You can use it when you're feeling frustrated with your big sister. You can use it when you feel sad because it's been a while since you've seen your friends. You can use it when you're having big feelings about the challenges that we're facing in school. The great news about mindfulness is that you can practice it anytime and anywhere. So when we're practicing mindfulness, we're going to start by just watching our breath, paying attention to our breath coming into our lungs, filling up our chest, and then exhaling. What does it feel going out of our body? So when I practice mindfulness, I like to close my eyes. If you feel good about closing your eyes, you sure can do that, but you don't have to. I'm going to take a big long breath in through my nose, and I'm just going to be thinking about what it feels like. I'm going to be noticing my breath and kind of welcoming it and saying, hey, hi, glad that you're here. And then I'm going to be watching it go out, watching it come in and watching it go out. And guess what's going to happen while I'm doing that? My brain is going to try to throw some thought bubbles my way. And that's completely normal. It's completely normal to be interrupted by thought bubbles. In fact, we can't really turn off our brains. They just come and they go. So while you're breathing, if you notice that you have some thoughts coming into your mind, just let them be there. You don't have to push them away. You don't have to do anything about it. Just bring your attention back to your breath when you notice that happening. Okay, so I'm going to kind of talk through this, but normally you would do this kind of in your own mind. All right, friends, I'm breathing in through my nose, a deep breath. Filling up my lungs. Feel free to join me in this, and exhale. In and out again. And as I notice those thoughts coming in, I just let them be there. Let's practice again. Bring that breath in. And out. And in. And out again. One way that I like to change up my breathing exercise, and you might want to join me in this, is to add a color to my breath. If you think about how your breath looks when you go out on a cold day, and you can breathe into the air and you can see it in the air, think about that breath coming into your lungs and then going out of your lungs as a color. And I know when I practice mindfulness in my classroom, my students like to sometimes mix the colors together, maybe choose a couple of their favorite colors. What would your breath look like if it had a color coming in, filling up your lungs? And then could you watch it come out again with that color? And thinking about a color helps us to stay with our breath. It's a little trick. When we can stay with our breath, and when we can practice breathing in and out and staying aware of our breathing and really staying present in this moment, something kind of magic happens. We notice that our brains feel more clear and our ability to make decisions, make choices, feels better, and our bodies feel better. We can respond to what's happening around us, whether it's a big feeling or frustration, with more clarity and more understanding. All right, friends, I encourage you to go practice your own breath work. Breathing in, staying with the feeling of your breath, breathing out. And if you notice those mind bubbles come through, those thought bubbles, just welcome them, notice that they're there, and then let them pop and float away and stay back with your breath again. I hope that you find that this practice helps you as you navigate these first few weeks of coming back to school. Take care.